Blackmagic RAW is coming to Sony cameras. Yeah, how did this one slip through the net? I haven't seen many people talking about it, and I only found out about it thanks to a tweet. Don't get too excited just yet though, as it's not coming to the alpha range. Not at the minute, at least, anyway. But more on that in a moment. First of all, welcome folks, it's Alex here, and welcome to the Roundup. It's been a while since we did one of these, so I'm bringing it back. Yes, I've been away, I've been a little bit busy. If you want to know what I've been up to, there's a video down in the description below where you can go and check out where I've been on my travels. But now I'm back, and we're doing a quick update video. And we'll kick things off with Blackmagic RAW and Sony. So at IBC, Blackmagic and Sony managed to announce that Blackmagic RAW is indeed coming to a select number of Sony cameras in the not too distant future, in a free update. Apparently, they just had a little demonstration going on over on the Sony stand, but didn't actually make any reference to it on the Blackmagic stand, which is where I spent most of my time. Now, as mentioned, it's not all Sony cameras. Most importantly, probably for the most of you out there, they don't currently have any plans to bring this functionality to the A series of cameras. So like your A7s, your A7Cs, your A7Ss, or your A7Rs, and all that sort of thing. Your consumer level Sony mirrorless cameras. Currently, this is only being developed for the FX6 and FX9 Sony cinema cameras. And of course, it's not going to be internal. If you want internal Blackmagic RAW, the only way that you can do that is, of course, with a Blackmagic camera. Instead, you will also need one of these. This is the Blackmagic Video Assist. This is the 5-inch version. You'll need the 12G Video Assist. Fortunately, those video assists did recently get a bit of a price drop, so they can be picked up for a little bit less money than they used to be. I think it's about £500 for the 5-inch version, and closer to about 750 quid for the 7-inch version. Now, of course, this has been a feature on other cameras for a while. My Lumix cameras do this, Fuji have Blackmagic RAW, Nikon also now do Blackmagic RAW. They all have the ability to output to the video assists and then be recorded in Blackmagic RAW. But never before, as far as I'm aware, has this been possible with Sony. So, while some of you may be disappointed that this isn't currently being developed for the A7 range, this is good news for you Sony users because it highlights a new relationship between Sony and Blackmagic. Now, if you want to know more information about this, there's actually a really useful live stream from the Pro AV guys. So, Pro AV are a supplier in the UK, well worth checking out if you're looking for hardware and that sort of thing. Anyway, I'll link them down below. But they did a live stream with Craig from Blackmagic, who's a good dude, by the way. I've known Craig for a little while. He's a fellow Midlander from the UK, just like me, but don't hold that against him. They talk in a bunch of detail about this Blackmagic RAW coming to Sony and a bunch of other stuff on the live stream. So definitely go check it out. I've linked it down below. That's where my information's coming from. And if you want to know all the ins and outs, go give that a watch. Now, Craig did mention that if this proves popular and there's plenty of demand, then they may consider thinking about maybe potentially bringing the same functionality over to the Alpha series of cameras. But there's nothing in development just yet.
Maybe and hopefully, if this is popular and we see a lot of uptake with Sony users wanting access to Blackmagic RAW, that's a conversation we could have.
I imagine it will be.
So, if that sounds interesting to you, make some noise. To be honest, get on Twitter, get on Facebook, get on the forum, go down in the comment section below, either on my channel or over on the Pro AV. Let people know that that's something you would be interested in. And if Blackmagic hear enough noise, maybe they will start to develop it in the future. No guarantees, obviously, but the only way that you may get this is if you make yourself heard. If, like me, you aren't a Sony shooter, there is more good news, and again, this comes from that live stream with Pro AV, so again, check them out down below. The Blackmagic Pyxis, the new box camera, is now officially shipping. Way! Only the L mount version at the moment, the other mounts will come shortly, but again, the L mount is now available. I've actually looked online, again, having a look at the Pro AV website or scan.co.uk if you're in the UK. The L mount version of the Pyxis is now available for instant dispatch. So if you pre-ordered one It should have either arrived or will be arriving very, very shortly. I haven't got one. I haven't pre-ordered one. I like the look of them. I like the idea of them, but they're not really for me. I'm not kind of a filmmaker by trade or anything like that. I really like my Lumixes because I can pick them up and run with them, and I've got autofocus and I've got stabilization and all that sort of thing. However, I would like to get my hands on one for a bit of a play. So maybe I'll try and figure that out in the future. If you'd like to see me try and figure out how to use a Pyxis, let me know. However, if you'd like to see the Pyxis in the hands of some professionals instead, our good friends Team 2 Films have literally just posted a video all about the Pyxis, which once again is linked down below. So definitely go and check that out if you want to know more about the illustrious Pyxis. Now, one of the issues that people had with the Pyxis, take a shot every time I say Pyxis, saying it a lot, was the location of the screen. It was bolted right onto the side of the things with no hinge. You couldn't flap it or fold it or do anything like that. So the idea obviously was that people would rig it up with an external monitor. So naturally, Blackmagic have released one of those as well. This is the Pyxis Monitor. It's available as a standalone or as a kit with a quick release mount and a lockable USB cable. It's a 5-inch flippity floppity 1080p 1500 nit external monitor for the Pyxis. Now this one I did actually get to have a little play with at IBC, and it is a nice bit of kit. Metal construction, so it feels good, but it is still nice and thin. Lightweight, I think it weighs about 200 grams. There's a little tally light on the back. It's touchscreen, but it also has 3 customizable physical buttons on the back as well. Now, there's no HDMI ports, so this isn't just your standard HDMI monitor. Instead, it all runs off USB Type-C. It gets the power from the Pyxis itself, so there's actually no battery mounting options whatsoever, and it interfaces directly with the Pyxis as well. So it's touchscreen, you can control everything from the shutter angle to false colors to your Blackmagic RAW compression, ISO, audio, everything you need directly from the monitor. And it's not badly priced, actually. The monitor itself is listed at just £269, which is really quite good for what it is, while the kit, which includes like the cable and the additional mounting brackets and all that sort of stuff, is listed on the Blackmagic website for 405 of your British pounds. You'll have to pay tax on that, so add 20%. About 450 quid for everything that you'll need. £3 you can get the Pyxis and a monitor with all the mounting and everything else that you need to get going. Now, £3 for like a consumer level stuff isn't cheap, but in the filmmaker cinema camera world, it's a bit of a bargain. So, depends which side of the fence you're coming from, I guess. Now, obviously, some people out there will argue that this wouldn't be required if the integrated monitor on the Pyxis itself had a hinge, but it's a box camera. I think they delivered what everyone wanted when they delivered a box camera. Now there's a mount and a monitor to go with it. Kind of feels like a nice bit of kit that really does flesh out the Pyxis line. But if you disagree, you can argue about it in the comments below. And that just about covers everything for this one. Now, DaVinci Resolve 19 has been out in the wild for a few weeks. I haven't made many videos talking about it other than the initial ones. That's my plan. I'm getting back into it. I'm going to be producing some videos. You'll see plenty of content on the channel going forward from today. So I'll see you when they get released. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.